Can you hear me okay, or do you hear any echo or anything?
No, I can hear you clearly.
All right, sounds good then. All right, no. Let me see. It's already on. Well, I'm gonna start. Well, you're Diana, right?
Yes, yes, I am.
All right, let me put something here so I know that you came here. Is anybody else connected? Hello?
As far as I can see, no.
Okay, no worries. Let me open because I'm listening through two speakers, so I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to disconnect and connect again these headphones. Okay. We are going to start sharing the screen and you let me know if you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I am watching. Yes, screen. Should all people be allowed to own guns?
Correct. Very good. All right. As I see that many people is absent, I will. Do you think it's a good idea to give them like 5 more minutes to arrive? Meanwhile, we can talk about ourselves.
Yes, yes, perfect. I'm just
Or
trying to turn on the computer to connect the Skype on the computer because I'm on my cell phone right now.
okay, so you wanna take a couple minutes to install it on your computer?
No, but I think it's going to be okay.
All right. Yeah, sounds
I have
good.
to
So tell me a little bit about you. What do you do? What are you doing right now?
English teacher. Now I'm at home, due to the quarantine, and I work at a private school in Valledupar.
Hey, that's pretty nice. And what public are you teaching to? Is it kids or adult people?
Kids, kids
Kids. Yeah. What are their ages?
from now I am from third to fifth grade. That's from 7 to 11 years old, more or less.
Okay. Well, right now I'm teaching in a school where I was teaching like for 8 years in high school. So it was kids in sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, and ninth grade. But now this year I was challenging myself to teach in primary school. So I went down to third grade, and it was quite a nice experience. But with all these emergency and the quarantine, we had to go to the house, and I'm actually missing my kids. They are very funny public.
Yes, kids are very. I used to teach in high school, but they gave me the option to choose, and I prefer to stay with kids. This year, they told me if I wanted to be with teenagers, but I said no. I don't know what is going to happen until when I am going to have the opportunity to choose. But if I have the opportunity to choose, I know that teaching in high school is better because you can learn more. Topics are more advanced and all those stuff about personal English level. But to teach kids for me is better because I don't know. I work better with them. I understand them. Maybe because I'm a mom and have to keep, or I don't know why, but I prefer to work with kids. Teenagers are more difficult.
Yeah, so you find the public like younger public a little easier to work with.
Yes,
Or is it
yes,
just
I
because you have a better feeling? Not because they are easier, because sometimes they are crazily hard to manage, but it's because the feeling is better, right?
yes, maybe.
Yeah, because every public has the challenges. I
Yes,
saw,
of course.
I think Gemalis joined the conversation. Hello, Gemalis, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. I apologize with you because here there are a lot of noisy. My neighbor are playing music, and I hope that you can hear me when I talk. I don't know what do you say?
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry about your neighbors. We hear you perfectly. Whenever it's time to participate, you can open your microphone. And when you're not
Okay.
speaking, you can close it so we don't hear your neighbors. It's no big deal. We totally understand that the people around the house could be doing stuff and they can stop because of our conference. So what we got to do is try to find uh, an alternative to get along with the people around us, even with the people living in the next houses. So don't worry about all the noise
Okay.
that is happening there. Okay, so Gemalis and Diana, the topic that we have today is it has been polemic through years and years of debate, but we are going to discuss this as friends. There is no good or bad answers. You are going to pose your position and argument your position, and I will be posing some questions so we can continue the conversation. So relax. This is not going to be graded. This is not going to be like going to your records if you don't do well or if you make a mistake when speaking. Don't worry at all. This is a friendly conversation. We are going to have some fun talking about this polemic topic, and the only objective of this is to practice our English, polish our speaking skills, and move forward with our learning. So relax and start, like sharing your ideas. So yeah, it's should all people be allowed to own guns? And I actually post this picture of a very beautiful 9 millimeter pistol, but it's not because I'm a gun lover. It's just because I think sometimes art combines very well with some other topics. So the first question that we are going to put here is, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of guns? Uh, Diana, what do you think?
Um, could you listen to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the purpose. I don't know. I consider the purpose is maybe to defend yourself, but that is something hard to give a definition because normally people use that with many different purposes, but the principal purpose maybe is defend people.
All right, so it's defense. What about you, Gemalis? What do you think the purpose of guns is?
Kill people. Yes, but is the first or the main purpose. But I suppose that is um, for give security in some cases, if there are people that they can make you hurt you, like they want hurt you. If you show them a gun, they are going to stop, and you are going to be safe.
Okay, so in this case, what you say is guns offer some kind of protection to the people
Yes,
who have them. All right, so protection, assassination, murdering, and basically intimidation to other people,
yes,
right? So it's kind
yes.
of intimidation.
Uh-huh.
because of course the purpose, okay, the final consequence of a shot could be death, but not all the time it happens. So not all the time a person shoots a gun, the other person dies. So we would say, yeah, it's basically intimidation, or the other purpose would be like hurting another one if
Yes,
activated. So
but
yes.
I think that the people who create this type of element, the first idea was kill to you know kill. No,
Yeah, killing.
okay, killing was killing, and in some cases we use it to intimidate, but the main idea was kill.
Yeah, to kill
To
people
kill.
or animals in this case. Sometimes
Yes.
people use
Uh-huh.
them with animals, especially dangerous ones. I don't know. Well, there are many situations where a gun comes handy. Okay, I will show you these little facts that come from the Centers for Disease Control of the United States. They say that every day 313 people are shot in the United States. Among those, 103 are shot and killed. So that's almost half of it. 210 survive the injuries. 95 are intentionally shot by someone else. 63 die from gun suicide. What do you think of that number of people a day? That's every day. 313 people are shot in the United States. What do you think, Diana, about this number?
I consider those are a lot of people. Nowadays that we are uh, passing this, I don't know how to call sickness, maybe the virus,
Mm-hmm.
kills people every day. But look at that number, 313 people because of gangs. That is
Mm-hmm.
hard. That is not public, and just at the United States,
Just
not
in the
around
United
the
States.
world. Imagine that number around the world. It is more people is dying because of gangs than for any other sickness, maybe. So
Correct.
that is hard. And 95 are intentionally shot. So
Mm.
now I don't know where are you living now, which city from Colombia. I am in Valledupar, and here it is hard. Every day somebody dies because some people is going to rob and use guns, and if they don't find the article, the cell phone, the car, or the motorcycle they are going for, they just kill you because
Mm-hmm.
they want.
Yeah.
So that is hard.
Yeah, it's funny because you think if you don't have something that you will be safe. Like they don't have anything to steal from you, so you all are going to be safe. But I've heard stories where the people say, no, he was hurt because the thief got mad because he didn't have any money or didn't have any cell phone, so he stabbed him or he shot at him just because he didn't have anything to steal. And that's kind of contradictory, right? Because the person doesn't have anything, like he's not carrying anything valuable with him or with herself at the moment, and the thieves, the bad people, hurt them just because they don't have anything. So it's like they feel upset because they couldn't steal anything, so they hurt the person.
Yes, that's right, and that happens every day.
Now another,
So
yeah, tell me.
no, no, no. Yeah, give the participation to someone else maybe wants to talk.
Teacher,
Yes.
two partner more have joined to the session.
Oh, two more. Okay, I
Yes.
was very focused on the on the presentation, but yeah, Mildred and Felipe, welcome to the conference. How are you guys?
Thank you, teacher. How are you?
I'm pretty fine, just here having fun with my students here, just having some conversation about this topic, which is really interesting, and enjoying the quarantine, of course. How about you?
Yeah, the quarantine is a time to reflect about the self, the own life.
Yeah, and I actually talked to my brother and tell him that he should use this time because he works at the airport, so he is normally working at very long hours, and he's got a son that is only 1 year and a half. So I tell him that he should use this time to spend with the family, to grab every memory he can build with the son. This is a perfect opportunity. Of course, we are all nervous about the money, about the bills, and about everything, but I'm pretty sure we are going to get successful in the end.
Yes, teacher.
All right. And what about you, Felipe?
What do you want to know, teacher? Hello.
Hey, man. Whenever you speak, you can do it a little lower because your microphone is very powerful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. It's just a matter of speaking lowly, like if you were talking to us, if we were there very close to you, and you will see that your voice is sounds better. How are
Okay,
you, man?
I get that.
Very
Uh,
good, very good.
all's good. All's good, teacher.
All right. So I was saying that the topic for today is, yeah, like uh, if all people should be allowed to carry guns. And we discussed, the first thing we discussed was what was the purpose of guns. And our classmates, Diana and Gemalis, were saying that the main purpose of guns is to intimidate, to kill, to hurt other people, to protect people, to have some protection for yourself in case somebody wants to intimidate you. You show a gun and you actually intimidate the other person to stop harassing you. So, do you have any other ideas, Mildred and Felipe, to add to this question? The purpose, the main
Yes,
purpose of gun? Yes, Mildred, go ahead.
yes. I think that guns are to guns are useful. I useful for feeling better, for feeling safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but they are very dangerous, very
Yes, they are
dangerous, very
very
dangerous.
dangerous. That's
It's a counterproductive,
mm, productive,
pro,
counterproductive, right?
counterproductive, productive, productive.
Mm.
Yes, because um, they are they result um, a danger for children
Yes.
at home. Um, I know some cases um, where the where children um, have shoot to the other brother.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's one very interesting uh, part of the conversation that you just signaled there, and I will show you the numbers after 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 Felipe tells us what the purpose is of guns for him, and I will show you that number just right after he finishes his participation. So, what about you, Felipe? What do you think the purpose of guns is?
Mhm. What do I think? I mean, there are many purposes for people and for guns. I mean, it's not. This is not about guns, but it's about the people who have them, how
Mm-hmm.
they handle them. But maybe my classmates didn't mention that people usually use them for hunting. For hunting.
Oh yeah, that's one good purpose, hunting.
Yeah, gringos, Americans, they love that.
Yeah, yeah.
and
Normally,
and not also gringos, but also, for example, in my region, llaneros too, they kill capybaras, chihuiros, you know. So
mhm.
that's what it is. They also use them for hunting.
Yeah, they do. They use them for practicing the sport of hunting, right? All right.
Yeah.
So I will show you that she mentioned. Sorry again. Let me see the names. Yep. Mildred mentioned. Mildred mentioned something that is really important here, and it's when some kids using. One second. I hear a lot of. Okay.
Profe,
Yes. Can
teacher,
you
I
please?
can hear it.
Yeah, I'm stopped because I'm hearing kind of an interference. So please,
Okay, okay.
some of you, like I don't know which microphone is causing this interference, but I'm hearing a very strong noise. And can you please, all of you, close the microphone for a second? All right. I don't know what's going on, but maybe one of your microphones is causing that interference, but don't worry. I will keep on talking, and I want to signal here that the this number 95 are 95 are intentionally shot by someone else, and 90 are shot unintentionally. So from the 313 people in the USA that get shot every day, 90 are shot unintentionally. That means the person who pulled the trigger or who actioned the weapon was not actually like trying to kill the other person or trying to hurt the other person. So 90 of them are not doing it intentionally. There, in that number, there might be a lot of those kids who take the guns of their parents without permission. Maybe they know where they are hidden and they start playing with them and their brothers or friends, and they end up shooting a friend. Right, Mildred?
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's really important that fact that you mentioned that kids sometimes take those weapons and action them against a person they don't want to hurt, but they do it
Yeah.
because they just don't know how to handle them. Then it says one is killed by legal intervention. That means maybe police or other military forces, and four are shot by legal intervention. So one is killed, four are shot. One died, but the intent wasn't known, and 12 are shot, but the intent wasn't known. I want you to focus also in something that is really worrying for me. 63 die from gun suicide. So they shot themselves. And there is another question in a little later in this presentation where I want to focus on mental health. So just start building your thoughts about it. Do guns cause violent behavior in their owners? What do you think, Diana? Remember the microphone.
Okay, that is yes, yes. I had some problems, but now I'm here. I'm back. Um, yes, maybe sometimes maybe you can have a great self-control, but sometimes when you are angry or you have problems, and if you have a gun just on your hand, maybe you are going to do something after you are not going to, or you are going to, I don't know how to say, arrepentirse, uh,
Regret.
may regret, yes, regret, maybe, or sometimes, yes, there is people that can change their behavior because they have a gun and they can feel powerful. Maybe they
Hmm.
want to taste that, to that sensation, to feel that emotion, to feel the power. There is, or there, yes, there is a lot of people that can control themselves, but most of the people can't. So to have guns is really dangerous for anyone. It doesn't matter the case. It could be a policeman, it could be a soldier, it could be a trained people, but to have guns is hard.
All right. And what about you, Gemalis? What do you think about this? Do guns cause violent behavior in the owners?
Yes, I suppose that. Yes, because my partner had expressed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in some occasions, we are having problems, and we try to respond like we want to do in this moment. If I have a gun in my hands, is probably that I use it to control this moment, this situation, and I think that the act of kill is violent, even when I do it for save myself. You
Yeah,
know.
like self-defense, like self-protection, self-defense.
Yes, yes. Then yes, my answer is yes.
Okay, and what about you, Mildred? Do you think guns cause violent behavior in the owners?
Yes, totally agree. I remember when I was a child, my father my father always had a gun.
Mm.
Um, I remember bad experience about it. Um, when when a gun is mixed with alcohol,
Uh-huh.
is very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine.
Yes.
So,
Um,
well, yeah,
yes.
that word is pronounced alcohol. Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, those might have been really bad experiences. Guns and alcohol. I mean, everything with alcohol goes might go wrong in the end. Like driving under alcohol, trying to have a conversation under the influence of alcohol, everything goes wrong. That's why when the people consume alcohol, they end up fighting, they end up insulting each other. And if they have a gun in their power, oh my goodness, I don't even want to think.
Yes.
What about you, Felipe?
Um, I honestly don't know because I have never had a gun. So that's like that question is not like for me. Maybe my guess. I I guess they do because they might make you feel more powerful and maybe more important because let's be honest, guns are quite expensive. They're not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So not everybody can afford having a gun.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I think, you know, but I also think that we should really have a gun so we can make something out of it.
Yeah, well, I have never had a gun, but my grandpa used to have a gun, and a couple of my uncles, they also had him. But they were never violent people. They are still alive, and they have never been violent people. They only had him at home because they wanted to feel safe. I mean, but I have never had a gun, so I don't know if actually that causes a violent behavior in their owners. I mean, if they feel somebody's trying to enter their houses, they are going to go for a gun and they are going to act violent, that's for sure. That's what I can suppose actually. So yeah, we will never know if we don't buy one, and I think we shouldn't buy one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on with this. Does mental health play any role? What about, well, let's start by the last one, Felipe. What do you think? Does mental health play any role in the way people use guns, or if in all this topic, like, does mental health play any role?
Of course, teacher, of course, yes. We all have heard about the shootings in the United States, you know. There are many crazy people out there shooting everybody uh, at the mall, in the street, in churches. So yes, they, I mean, like mental health problems exist, and they play a big role in people's mind, of course.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
even like that's crazy right now in the United States because uh, a lot of people uh, who have mental problems are the ones that are killing people randomly, like I said, at the mall and everywhere. So
yeah.
yes,
United States has been popular for mass murders in schools, in shopping malls, in
yeah.
discotheques, everywhere, man. Them gringos are a little bit nuts about guns, yes. What about what about you, Mildred? What do you think? Does mental health play any role here?
Yes, mental health play an important role in this case because um, in general, uh, people feel um, people feel a great power when they have a gun. Uh,
Hmm.
but a bad mental health uh, increase the situation.
Of
Um,
course.
yes, it's worse. It's worse. It's worse when a gun is having with sick mental health, no, sick mental, sir? Mental sick,
You mean a person who's suffering a mental disease?
mental disease. Yes,
Okay. You
yes,
can also
yes.
say an ill person.
Ill person, yes, ill
Yeah,
person.
ill. I-L-L. Ill.
Yes, ill, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, what about you, Hermalis? What do you think about mental health and the role with the
Mm,
gun possession?
yes, I think that obviously mental health play an important role in this process or case because I think that people have to be aware aware
Aware, yes.
that what the value of the life um when you are in your cabal. I don't know how to say cabal in English, cabales, you know.
Okay, when you are
uh,
not sane, sane means when you are totally okay in your mental health. So sane, when you are sane, S-A-N-E. Yes.
saying okay, como okay, okay, okay.
Como sano, pero con E al final.
I lose the idea.
Yeah, like when you are not sane, when you are not right in your mind, you
Uh-huh.
can you can act in a violent way, right?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, it's a totally different situation between an ill person and a sane person, a healthy person. Okay, and now what about you, Diana? Diana, what do you think about this mental health and guns?
Yes, that is a difficult topic because continue with the idea that Felipe was saying at the United States, it is very common because when you are, I think, 18 years or 21 years old, you can have your own gun. So that's the reason why it is easy to have many guns there, and many sick people or ill people, insane people, is
Mm-hmm.
trying to express the rejection they have suffered. They are trying to express the behavior or the bad behavior they receive from their partners. Maybe that is because any, I don't know how to express that phobia that is called xenophobia.
Yeah,
Xenophobia?
no, xenophobia. It's the same.
Okay, xenophobia or something, and they just take a gun and kill the other person. That is the solution they find to their problems. It's just use some guns.
Mm.
And people with any problem, any mental problem shouldn't have the permission to have a gun, because even people, as I said before, anger people, sane people with anger can do something wrong in that moment. Imagine someone that is ill. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to be more difficult, and it is going to be worse because they
Yeah,
are
and
feeling the power in that moment. They are feeling they can give a solution to any problem they have.
that's right. Plus, another thing that we gotta keep in mind is that maybe the stores that sell the guns do not care about mental health. They are not going to ask you for a certificate of sanity in your mind. They are going to ask you for your ID and see if you are old enough to get a gun, and that's it, right? Like they only care about the age.
Yes, that's it. Because that is a law at the United States that is like, I don't know, I don't remember. That is one law that is very old, and it says that any people can have a gun just for protection.
Yeah, it's in the Second Amendment. I will show you a little bit of that ahead in this presentation. But yeah, actually, the law that allows Americans to have guns is really, really old. It's really old, and many people is protesting because they need to modify so they can protect the rest of the society from these people who is using the guns and their rights to have guns. And when one less thing, they go nuts, they go crazy, and they start killing Latinos just because they are Latinos. They start killing black people just because they are black, or they start killing homosexuals because they are homosexual. So imagine that. It's a crazy world. Now, so continue with the little facts. I was going to show you that children uh, and teens around 21 are shot in the United States every day, and among those, four die from gun violence, two are murdered, 17 children and teens survive gunshot injuries, 8 are intentionally shot by someone else, and 2 children and teens either die from gun suicide or survive an attempted gun suicide. So as you can see, we were saying that 313 are shot, but from that we can separate this statistic that talks about the children and teens, and we have an important number. It's not only old people using these guns and stuff, but also 21 children and teens are shot, and some of them die because of this behavior. Do you have anything to say about this, Diana?
About that, I remember something that happened like 3 or 4 years ago, like 5 blocks away from my home. One 13-year-old boy killed his best friend because he found his father's gun, and they started to play, and he just shot his
Mm.
his best friend, and he died. You know, it wasn't intentionally, but it happens, and that
Yeah.
happens a lot every day. Now, here maybe we don't have that kind, or I don't know. Maybe I am far from the reality. Like kids with guns. Maybe no, there is like a little amount of kids with guns here in Colombia, but as guns are very popular at the United States, I think there you can find more kids or more children with guns near them. Maybe they have because they belong to some groups and they steal other people, and I don't know, but those statistics
Mm-hmm.
are very worried. I worry
Yeah.
because uh, is imagine those kids, and when they grow up, for sure most of them are going to be killers, or maybe some of them won't grow up.
Yeah, of course. Well, you're not far from reality because children have guns everywhere, especially in big cities like Medellin. I have had the opportunity to live in this city for a long time, and I'm pretty sure that the gangsters and the bands in the neighborhoods normally recruit kids under age. You know, they are kids of 13, 12 years old, and they are given guns and they are given weapons to accomplish some heists by the gang. So they send these kids to do the job of regular gangster with guns and stuff. And these are children that haven't even finished school, and they are already in command of a gun against other people, and they are trying to intimidate others, and just doing bad things every day just because they want to belong to a gang.
Yes.
Okay, so what about you, Mildred? Let's go with the next question, so we can move on. I am normally a very talkative person, so that's why this time flies, and we don't even go in the half of the presentation. But bear with me. So, Mildred, what aspects would be relevant to establish regulations, in your opinion?
Mm, to establish a regulation,
Ye-
um, the each country government um, have to or must have to have to in account the age,
Mm-hmm.
the health,
Okay.
the mental health. Um, but I think um, in general, any country should uh, to to let any guns.
That means what you mean is that the countries shouldn't uh, allow
Children.
people to carry guns,
Yes,
or
but if they have to establish regulation, they they take they have to they have to
consider.
take in account the age and the mental health.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And what about you, Hemalis? Do you have anything to add to that idea? Like,
Um, Teacher and partners, I suppose that using or not using guns depend of the type or kind of society.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Uh, okay, in Colombia happened that um No, a lot of people is carrying guns in the street, but we always are seeing people dying or hearing that a lot of people have died, you know. Um, I suppose that the education, um, have in mind values and human rights is a important aspect. That's I mean it's necessary to educate the people,
Mm,
having in mind this aspect because establish when the government establish an age for let people carry guns, you know, always people going to find a way to raise, I don't know how say ignore, okay, to ignore to pass this re- requirement,
requirement, yes.
okay, requirement, and they are going to get a gun. And I suppose that the most important point is the values with the society is founded or developed. No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point of view. That's kind of appealing to mine as well. Uh, what do you think, Felipe, of this view?
About what she said or what, teacher?
Yeah, if you want to talk about the question or about what Hemali said, you're welcome. You're welcome to do any of those.
I mean, while my classmates were talking, I was just uh, thinking about like we have big problems here in Colombia too, but I was thinking about stray bullets. You know, a lot of kids and anyone can be killed by stray bullets here in Medellin, in those comunas. So
Mm.
our country, maybe we're not like the United States, but I guess because I haven't read much about it, that a lot of children uh, are being killed by stray bullets, and that's just sad and also heartbreaking. But we don't
Yeah.
usually talk about that, and that happens because like anyone can have a gun no matter what, and it's even worse when you are in a gang or yeah. So this is crazy.
Yeah, it's totally crazy, especially that aspect of stray bullets. For those of you, the girls, maybe if you don't know, stray bullets is what we call balas perdidas, right? So we were having a lot of cases of stray bullets hurting kids and hurting people not very long ago. There were like almost every day there was one person dying because of that, and it was crazy because it's people who's doing just they are living normally, and out of a sudden their life is comes to an end just because some stupid person shot in the air and this bullet went straight to where the person was. It's crazy how that happens to a person who's not even guilty of anything. So yeah, of course, though that topic of stray bullets is actually very painful and and contradictory for what life should be. Then we are going to move on to some facts about the issue. This time, I didn't want to sound like I was actually only partial about the vision. So I'm going to show you here some facts that are positive about guns. So, according to the Centers for Disease Control, guns stop burglars. In 2013, they estimated that Americans use guns about 498,000 times to frighten away intruders attempting to break into homes. So with this statistic, we see that uh, almost half a million times they the guns saved the life of a family, or at least the integrity of their homes. Also, guns don't make the murderer. According to a New York Times study of 1,662 murders in the city found that 90% of the killers had criminal records. So in this case, we can see that it's a meaningful sample because it's 1,600. And of those, the 90% were actually criminals, or at least these people had criminal records. So that's interesting to see that many people have guns, but normally the people committing crimes with the guns are the people who are criminals or already have criminal records. Another thing, before I give you the word so you can speak about it, is Switzerland has one of the world's highest gun ownership rates and also one of the lowest homicide rates. According to this, in Switzerland, many people have guns, but they also have one of the lowest homicide rates. Countries with high homicide rates, like in South Africa, Colombia, and Brazil, prohibit guns, like free owning guns to people. So our countries, South Africa and Brazil, have very high killing rates, homicide rates, but here the guns are forbidden. The guns are only for military forces. Okay, I'm gonna give the word to, let me see who hasn't spoken much. I think I have given you the word quite balanced, but what about you, Mildred? What do you think about these facts? You can speak about any.
Okay. Uh, the gun, but these facts are very worried because the guns don't make the murderer. A New York Times study, yes, when almost the owner guns are had criminal records. It's a relevant facts because for example, I would want a gun to defend my home, but I don't have the courage, yes,
Yes, the courage.
to use it, yes. But a criminal, but for criminals are usual to use guns, yes. I want to tell you, in Colombia, the guns are authorized for the military.
Yeah, military forces.
Military forces, but common people too.
Yeah, common people too, but they have to go through a process of selection, what they call salvoconducto, right?
Yes, yes. My father had a salvoconducto.
Yeah, of course, in our country, that regulation is for very specific people. They allow some people of, regular citizens to have guns, but they have to go through a very careful process of selection, and they have to justify very well why they want to have the gun.
Yes, but only the person makes a documentary process, and they get to salvoconducto.
Yeah, like it's like an authorization from the government to carry the guns. What about you, Diana? What do you think of these facts in favor of guns?
I consider, especially the rates comparing Switzerland and Latin American countries, is something that goes farther than just having guns. The policies against murders and robberies are harder than here. Corruption is totally different. So maybe if you don't respect the law, it is you are going to jail. Here, no, here it is easy to find someone just robbing anyone else with a gun. They go to the law and they just spend 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, and they just go out again and start to do the same. In Switzerland, it's different. In other countries, policies are different. So I consider that it is not because in other countries people is allowed to have guns and here is forbidden. No, it's not of that, but because it is of the law, in the general laws. And that also impacts in corruption too, because
Mm-hmm.
here laws are, I don't know, if you have money, you don't go to jail. If you have money to pay lawyers and to pay the judges and to pay witnesses, you don't go to jail, even though you kill, even though you have videos or whatever, any kind of proof. If you have
Correct.
money, anything happens. But in
Yeah.
other countries, that is not, that's different.
Yeah, totally. Plus, we got to consider that Switzerland, for example, it's one of the best educated countries in the world. So the people there is not only respectful of the law, but also they have been well educated since they were children. So they have the values and the principles better interiorized in their minds. So they are not prone to corruption or prone to do crimes or anything because they are well educated.
Yes, you are right. You are right.
Plus,
Yes.
their salaries and their job opportunities are high and are fair, so they don't need to go and do crimes because they need money to help their families. That would be
Yes,
another
Yes.
part.
life quality is high.
Yeah,
Yes. Teacher,
yeah.
you have mentioned an important point. I think that is the most important point when you are when we want to compare countries in this topic, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, education, job opportunities, and of course the regular state of the nation as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we are going to move on. This time flies. So I'm going to go through these questions very quickly, but just to give you like something to think about. Are there any higher risks or lower risks for certain people, depending on what? What do you think? Is there people in higher risk or lower risk of using the guns inappropriately or suffering from others having guns?
I think that our people is on risk when a gun is close. Any people,
Yeah.
but higher the higher risk uh, is about the children
Yeah,
because
so
they don't have they don't have enough awareness aware aware about the guns. They think is a toy or against to the superhero.
yeah, they are for them it's just a game.
Yes,
Yes.
the the games the games the games is given a negative effect into children um, and teenagers.
Yeah, correct. Um, I was I was I was looking for some celebrities' opinion about this, and this is Jessica Alba. She was really upset after the massacre in Parkland School, Florida. That was 2 years ago, and she said that, textually, she says, "I'm with the young folks, parents, and teachers demanding change for the archaic gun laws we have failed as a country to protect our children. The senseless mass murders need to stop now. As a mom, I feel like it is my duty to vote for representatives that are aligned with my values." And so in this case, she's against the free against the laws that are right now ruling the United States gun possession. And here we have the position of Johnny Depp. He is a pro-gun celebrity. He says, "I enjoy shooting as a kid and want to teach my children to shoot. We would just go out and line up a bunch of cans and shoot with rifles, handguns, and at times some machine guns." And these are very two popular celebrities, right? One is against the guns, the other is pro guns. But of course, I read a little bit deeper into his declarations, and he said, "Of course, we don't want to shoot people. We just want to use the guns for fun, like shooting things." So he's actually pro-gun for protection, but he's not advocating for hurting people. He's just that he doesn't see any danger in guns if they are used properly. And in this case, Jessica Alba is defending, of course, the rights of the people, but at the same time, she's not saying to ban the guns totally. She's just asking for a renovation of the rules so they are possessed by people with a better perspective or mental health. This conversation is so entertaining for me. I just regret not having uh, plenty of time. So I just want to move on through this one. I will offer each one of you the opportunity to state your position and justify it. So we can start by Diana, then Gemalis, then Mildred, and then Felipe. So Diana, what is your position? Yes to guns, no to guns?
Totally no. My position
Totally.
is no. Yes, no.
Okay.
Especially here in Colombia, we need, as you said before, more education, values, more regulations, and maybe, but no. My position is no.
Okay. Gemalis,
No, my position is no.
the gun is crying. The gun has tears in her eyes. No, I'm just kidding. What about you, Mildred?
Well, I am against guns, but currently have a gun is it will be indispensable to survive in this society
Yeah.
because yes, I would like um, to learn how use a gun because I am single mother
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like a gun to defend my family. Mm,
Yeah, well, in the case of a
yes,
single mother, yeah, it would be nice to have that feeling of security, that feeling of
yes,
protection, right?
yes, but they the guns are dangerous. It's not uh, it's the truth.
Yeah, you gotta have like a very good education and very good values to carry a gun properly, right? That's what you want to say.
Yes, I live in Ocaña, and here we have the Venezuelan problems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they rob, they commit deliits. No, I commit,
They commit crimes.
they commit crimes and attack.
Yeah,
Um,
they rob.
yes, they had guns. They had guns. I don't know where they get them,
Hmm.
but we have we don't have any guns. The good people um don't don't have any guns.
Yeah, so what you gotta do is just trust in the police and the military to protect you. Okay, and what about Felipe? What is your final position regarding guns and guns possession?
Okay. Bottom line, get a gun, you know, but just make sure you don't kill innocent people. You don't do crazy things with them. Just make yourself use them just to protect your loved ones and your
Mm.
family, maybe your closest friends, and that's it. Maybe for fun, like for hunting, but yes, just kill nobody. Not neither hurt them nor
Yeah.
hurt them. Yeah, just that's my viewpoint.
Correct. Yeah, I actually agree with all of you. What we need is, okay, sometimes the areas, as I stated in this question, this was one of the questions that was planned for the conversation. But yeah, is what alternatives of defense could you give to someone living in violent areas? Like Mildred just mentioned, some areas have these huge problems of violence. Some criminals are around, they are trying to burglarize the houses, enter in the houses, like break into houses to steal things, maybe hurt people, maybe ask them for money. So the alternatives would be to actually have guns, but what we need to warranty before we give a gun to a person is to make sure they have enough education, they have a set of values well interiorized in their minds, and that they are actually going to use them for the purpose that is protection, not to go and hurt someone else because they just want it. So,
Teacher,
yes.
uh, um, we have to make decisions about to have or not a gun. I have a bars in my home.
Mhm.
Uh, I put bars in front of in the windows, in the doors, and it's very important to take um, medidas, measure no,
Measures, yes.
measures uh, about to take care um each member of family.
Yeah, yeah, of course. We
Yes,
gotta we gotta
see,
educate everybody in the house.
yes, see. But I take no. I have my home my house has bars in the
Okay.
windows, in the on on the windows,
Yeah, on the
on the
windows.
doors, on the window, on the garage, because I feel safe. I feel safer.
Yeah, well, that's a good alternative to have all windows and easy, like accessible areas protected with metal bars or iron bars. Um, that will convince the persuade the criminals not to enter your house. If they find it difficult to enter your house, they might look somewhere else, like some other
Yes.
houses that are easier to enter. So, well, I will have to finish the conversation. It was really nice to have this talk with you. I'm gonna show my face so the people who still don't see me. So, I really hope you had a good time, that you learned a little, that you actually had a nice time. I will do my best next class, and if you wanna ask me for any help or anything, I have been teaching for UNAT all this semester. I have been teaching classes for SEPTO, which is like a test of certification of English for professionals. I have been teaching grammar, and I have had several chats one-on-one. So if you want to participate on these sessions, you just check the schedules of the school and choose me. My name is David Hernandez, and I have been very happy to have you today. So really, thank you for coming. Thank you for attending. And until next time.
Thanks,
Thank you,
teacher. It was
teacher.
a
Hey,
Bye
teacher.
pleasure.
bye.
Bye bye,
Bye.
teacher.
See
Bye.
you.
See
Thank
you.
you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Bye
Have
bye.
a nice day. Stay safe. Respect the quarantine.
Thanks.
Thank you, teacher.